Thank you. So it will be very difficult to compete with the last session, because it's way more interesting to see how people spy on us. But what I want to share with you, I've been doing this business of analytics for the last 15 years in 3 companies. And I want to share a view I have of what we do, but I've seen at Sisense and outside. And my claim will be that any business that will not be using the information, the data it's sitting on, is going to vanish in the next few years. And I'll give some examples. First, some stats. You all know them. It's good to remind them. In the last 2 years, every 2 years, the vast majority of the information since the dawn of humanity was created. And it's happening again and again. So in the next 2 years, more information will be created, 10 times more than the entire existence of humanity. And when people analyze information, we just saw that with the anonymized so-called data, location data, people need multiple data sources to start and create the big picture of what's going on in their organization and elsewhere. And all of that is now moving to the cloud. The numbers are that 50% of the information of your organization, even if you don't think about it, 50% is already residing on the cloud, be it in Salesforce, be it on Redshift, or in other places. And when you look at 2019, we're in 2019, we all talk about cyber and data and analytics. Who is using that information? The stats show that the big users are those data engineers that we spoke about. A few people are viewing the information, but actually 2/3 of employees and of companies don't take advantage of the information at their disposal, not new information, what they have at their disposal. But much worse, that's within the organization. When you think about your customers, your partners, people outside your firm, that information is not being leveraged. So what I'm going to share with you in the next few minutes is real examples of how companies change their business dramatically, leveraging data they already had, and why I truly believe if you don't do that, you won't have a reason to exist. Because doing that, digital transformation, leveraging those data assets allows you to create new products and target new customers. Again, I'll show a few examples, all in 5 minutes, to try and convey that viewpoint, because I truly believe it's about really existing in the future in this marketplace. So first, 3 examples, not with Sisense. First one is Amazon. We all know Amazon. Did you know that Amazon introduced a new technology, a new patent using data? Amazon has a patent on delivering things before you buy them. I'll say it again because it's not obvious. Before you buy the product, they will send it to you. And they have a patent on that. That's how accurate the technology is, that they can forecast up to a zip code or a building what's going to be purchased to minimize the time. One day it will be a second. You click the button, open the door, it's there. Okay? That's how accurate it is. And they can totally change an industry and the delivery industry with that. Netflix, originally designed to ship CDs. You can watch videos online. They now have a new service. Netflix can detect from the watching habits what part of the movie was too scary that you dropped out. Amazon Kindle has the same feature now. They can tell authors at what chapter people stopped reading. Give the feedback back. It was never the case. It was a one-way street. You write a book, create a movie, you produce it, and you pray. Now it's an interactive two-way process. Allows them to have a feedback loop, better media, better content, better movies, right? And win the game in this winner takes it all. All using information they always had. No one used it in such a way. We think about Waze. We all use it every day. Waze was initially just a GPS with crowdsourcing information. Now they have a feature, I'm sure all of you used it. They can tell you to leave the office earlier because an accident is about to happen or will happen, right? We can tell the future. And from being a GPS and a better GPS, it's now almost an assistant. Don't forget, leave now. Soon they'll tell you, you have to go to shower because if not, you'll miss the meeting. Because they know if you're in the shower, if the previous BuzzFeed example. That is what's happening. Those organizations moved with the same information they always had to a totally different offering and are changing the market. So just a few words about Sisense in this context. We've been around, launched a product in 2010, raised $200 million, have over 1,000 large customers you can see on the screen. And what we do is help organizations take complex data and create analytical apps as a result. In many cases, used outside the company with its customers, with its consumers, with its partners, and often also internally by the firms. And I'll give you 3 examples of real companies and what they did with Sisense and why it's so amazing. This is ResMed. They provide medical devices. That's how you should know. The personal devices, sleeping sensors you can put like a Fitbit, etc. ResMed moved from being a hardware provider now to provide preventive care. They can take sensor data, you can think about the Fitbit type example, with your demographics, with your patient history, and the doctor will call you at home and tell you preventively to go to sleep, take a rest, exercise more before you ever get sick. That company is literally moving from being a device manufacturer to a preventive care company, all using the same information they always had in those devices, just combining different data sources. We call it mashup. The example just a few minutes ago, one data set was not material, combine it with Facebook, you know who the person is. Second example, NASDAQ. We all know them, hopefully we all go there one day. NASDAQ always sat on a lot of trading history, right? We use information for trading. NASDAQ introduced a new product with Sisense called Insight 360. They sell it to CFOs of public companies. And for the first time, we can tell a CFO, not what's the price of the stock, that's everyone knows. Who is trading, why they're trading, how does that compare to the peers in that industry, what events and what news drive that. Totally change the visibility the CFOs have on their stock. Now imagine the NASDAQ competitors not offering that service. They'll be out of business because no one wants to drive a business blind. Imagine the patients. One device just tells you if you're awake or asleep. The other device tells you when to go to sleep and how to stay healthy. One company will win, one will not. Same device, same trading example. Expedia is using us. It's less interesting in this case. I want to talk about Philips in the minute and a half we have, because that's the one I'm most excited about. Philips manufactures big, bulky, expensive MRI machines. I hope no one went through it, although I'm sure many of you went through it. It's not a fun experience. They collect endless information in those machines for diagnostics and maintenance. They found a way, using that information, to take the number of kids going through anesthesia before they go through the machine. You put a kid in the machine, they move around. The machine has to run again, it's unhealthy. So you put the kids to sleep. That's not healthy. Just using the information they always had, with a twist, 82% reduction in the number of kids being put to sleep before going through an MRI machine. Okay? From being a machine manufacturer, we're now providing guidance to the hospital how to give better care. And this Philips CEO is quoted saying 20% of his revenue in the future will come from analytics. So my point is, and to sum it up, this is the cover page of The Economist a few months ago. Data is the new oil. But like oil, or unlike oil, all of you are sitting on a gold mine or an oil field. Choose your precious item here. All of you are sitting on them. And I truly believe that the difference is in the future between those who will leverage those data sets that you already have and collect in the cloud and elsewhere to do unique, interesting things, offer new products, new services, and those who would not. So that's my summary. That's the oil under you. Think how to leverage it, because it's going to be a clear outcome at the end between those who do and those who do not. If you have any questions, feel free. It's my email. Thank you.